Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David. I've been searching the interzones for more science, space and tech news to share with you, and I came across this at IFL Science. Yes, looks like Uranus is more human after all than we thought. A huge event in its past made Uranus tilt sideways. Yeah, that's usually what happens to me. Fascinating. Yes. When scientists took a long look at Uranus, they found a lot of methane and a few surprises. You are such a child, David. You really are. Yes. It doesn't take a scientist to find that out, in my case. Uranus is filled with surprises and mysteries to solve, as well as probably containing a lot more methane than we thought. Again, David, shut up. There are a few other strange things we found about Uranus when scientists first started looking into it. No, not saying anything. For instance, why is Uranus and fellow ice giant Neptune so far out in the solar system? As why is Uranus so weirdly lopsided? In my case, I think just because it's fat. But anyway, the planet is likely formed around 4.5 billion years ago as gravity caused dust and gas to clump together into the swirling collection of mostly fluids. In their current positions, as far out as they are, Uranus and its fellow ice giant Neptune would not have been able to pick up enough material to form. Instead, scientists believe that the ice giants were formed closer to the Sun, where this protoplanetary material was more dense before migrating outwards to their current positions. During the planet's formation, they likely helped create the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, sending rocks flying inwards as they migrated. Unusual among the planets and the two ice giants, Uranus also appears to orbit the Sun on its side. Very interesting. Here we go, a little video here. Selected solar system objects to scale in size, rotation, speed, and axial tilt. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. So Pluto rotates on its side too. A bit of an angle. Mars. Oh, I see. Uranus is right out there, isn't it? There's Jupiter. It rotates really fast. There's Saturn. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely and positively fascinating. As I say, I'm not a physicist, a scientist, astronomer, astrophysicist, planetary sciences. Love all this stuff. It just blows me away. I love sharing these science, space, and tech news stories. It just, as I say, it's just one of those things. Uranus is the only planet whose equator is nearly at a right angle to its orbit, with a tilt of 97.77 degrees. This may be the result of a collision with an Earth-sized object long ago, NASA explains. The unique tilt causes Uranus to have the most extreme seasons in the solar system. For nearly a quarter of each Uranian year, the sun shines directly over each pole, plunging the other half of the planet into a 21-year-long dark winter. Now, though the leading hypothesis is that Uranus took a colossal pounding from an object roughly twice the size of Earth, they can't help themselves, can they? They've got to be doing it deliberately. I mean, seriously, I'll leave the link to the main article below the video so you can pop in, check out the embedded links, go for a bit of a deeper dive if you want. Makes for an interesting read beyond the main article, believe me, especially if you want to know about Uranus taking a colossal pounding. Oh, Jesus. It's got to be done deliberately. They just... Your idea. Uranus spins on its side with its axis pointing almost at right angles to those of all other planets in the solar system. Lead author Jacob Kegeris, PhD researcher at Durham University, said in a 2018 statement following research simulating such an impact, there was almost this was almost certainly caused by a giant impact, but we know very little about how this actually happened and how such a violent event affected the planet. So being a gas giant, if there was a giant impact, what would it impact with that could tilt it off orbit? Because I'm thinking if it was some sort of comet or asteroid or a smaller moon or something like that, Wouldn't the gas giant just absorb it, or is there something tangible and physical about it? Again, not a planetary scientist, so I'd love to hear from anybody who knows more about it. Because I'm saying that Uranus wouldn't be a solid object for something to hit, if you know what I mean. Again, could be wrong. Could have could be a completely legitimate reason for that for Uranus to bounce off another object. Our findings confirmed the most likely outcome was that the young Uranus was involved in a cataclysmic collision with an object twice the mass of Earth, if not larger, knocking it to its side and setting in process the events that helped to create the planet we see today. There are alternative possibilities, perhaps explaining why Neptune did not suffer a similar collision in the early days of the solar system. It is possible that Uranus had a companion, a large moon that slowly nudged the planet into its current tilt as it drifted away. Those simulations show that the satellite would have to be about 1,000th the mass of the planet itself. Our own moon is also drifting away and impacting the spin of our own planet as it does so. For now, the colossal impact remains the leading hypothesis. We will only find more evidence by looking closer at Uranus and maybe using a probe. They had to get him one last joke, didn't they? Yes. Well, what is it? I went to a Catholic school, and I definitely believe my mother could have saved a lot of money by sending me to a government school instead of a Catholic school. And think of the money she would have saved in school fees. And that way I could have flagged down a passing UFO and got the anal probe for free. Fascinating, yes. All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care. And as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say, just be careful with the Uranus jokes. And as I also always say,
I'm sorry, Fry, but astronomers renamed Uranus in 2620 to end that stupid joke once and for all.
Oh, what's it called now?
Urectum.